All right, good evening, everyone. It is now 6:30, start January 13, 2026, and we're starting our regular city council meeting. We have some special guests here from the Mena Elementary Sign and Shine Sign Language Club. We have Bradley Esperanza Perez and Harlow Schindler. There we go. Sorry, Schindler. Thank you. And they're here to do the Pledge of Allegiance with us. I'm going to invite them up here to the front so that they can sign the pledge and everyone can see how they work. So. Thank you. So if they all can come right here, Colin will take a picture with them, please. Thank you again. Yes, best pledge ever. All right, now we are ready for our invocation by Bastrop Chaplain, Police Chaplain Kettrick Stigger. Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm well, sir. How are you?
Wonderful.
Thank you so much for having me. God bless you guys. Lord, we thank you for this day and your grace. And Lord, as we all know, except the Lord build the city, all the laborers labor in vain that build it. So Lord, we thank you, Lord. Lord, we thank you, Lord, at the mention of your name, Lord, things are moved into the right place. Things are adjusted, Lord. At the mention of your name, peace is established in a city. And so, Lord, I thank you, Lord, that we stand here and live in a city, that it places your name at the forefront of its business. And that we thank you, Lord, and that you honor that. We ask you for your peace, your grace, and your kindness to saturate the very fabric of who we are here in Bastrop. Thank you, and we bless you in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. God bless you guys.
Thank you for that wonderful prayer. All right, on to our presentations. As I stated in the workshop that we had, this is our first council meeting of 2026. And so we've had a good little time in between. A lot of it has been spent with family, friends, enjoying ourselves, taking a little bit of time to rest and relax. We had a few activities, but it was more so a time of reflection and appreciating what 2025 had to offer and getting ready for this year. There was a couple of things. I think most of us had attended them. On the 19th of December, we had the Angels Weeping with Hannibal Lakumbe. It was a dedication to the victims lost in the Katrina hurricane and also in the floods in Kerrville. So then we also had, and that was a real, if you didn't get to make it, man, it was amazing. It was very touching. The band was great. The choir was great. It was a full house. And I really appreciate what he did. So I think it's actually online if you want to go back and look at it. We also had the Agnes Street opening. I'm sure that'll be touched on at some point in time. But it's good to have that cut through to alleviate a lot of traffic, and people can take Agnes to get to 304 and beyond. So we also had the bird sculptures here recently, this past Saturday. Commissioner Carrillo mentioned about those in the workshop, but we did the 5th and 6th installment of those statues, and they are a sight to see. The most recent ones, one of the most recent ones that they did was a peregrine falcon, which is one of my all-time favorite birds, so I appreciate that. And one more thing, another thing in our report, or my report, I just want to give my condolences to former Mayor Lyle Nelson. He lost his wife last week to cancer, and so my heart goes out to you. I know what it's like for a husband to lose their wife. Not me personally, but my dad lost my mother, and so regardless of what situations go on in people's lives, when you lose a spouse and a loved one, it really hits you hard, especially when they're your husband or your wife. So I just want to give my prayers and thoughts to the family and my condolences, and may God give you the strength to endure during this time. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have. Just one more thing that crossed my mind today, and it made me think about what we have going on here in Bastrop. We have a lot of good things, a lot of great things going on here in Bastrop. We have some things that we're trying to work through, and it may not always work out like we want, and some things are perceived as negative. But something I saw today that I think we should take in life is, man, if we can hold on to the things that make us happy, like we tend to hold on to the things that make us mad or upset, can you imagine how far we'll get in life? People tend to hold on to the negativity and the bad things in life and dwell and dwell and dwell and point it out and forget about all the good and the happy and the progression that we're making. So if we can do that, Bastrop, and hold on to those good things, hold on to that progress, hold on to where we've come from where we have been, it'll make things a whole lot better, and we can continue on to doing what's right for this beautiful city. So thank you. And now we'll pass it on to Councilmember Lowe.
Thank you, Mayor. Happy New Year, everybody. Bastrop. Hope everyone had a great holiday season with family. It's good to see all of you back here this evening. Also, we've kicked things off. We got back into work doing the stuff at Agnes. It's a great cut through. Relieves pressure off Highway 71, so that's a great thing. So this is just the beginning. I know that as the transportation plan comes into focus, you'll see more connectors and everything that keeps Bastrop moving. So look out for that. I recently attended the library board meeting as your city council liaison, and I have to say Bonnie and the whole gang do an awesome job with the resources they have. Interestingly, the data shows that Bastrop County residents are currently utilizing the facilities more than our city residents, and that's little. We'd like to see those numbers even out. So we're just encouraging everyone to go out and utilize the library. Great resource through your presence. And also, we could always use the donations there too as well. So also an important safety note at the library due to some plumbing construction and serious construction to the drop box area. Don't use it. It's pretty unsafe over there. We've seen people back up and using that particular area. It's a serious construction area over there, and you know, it could be a tripping hazard or something like that. So don't utilize it. Just go around on the inside and go ahead and drop your books off as well. And then on the library tip as well, just basically look at the website. And there's a lot of great schedule of upcoming events, so definitely look at that. Looked at the Mardi Gras celebration, did that this weekend. It was hosted by Carlos Liriano and the team at Lost Pines Toyota. Peterson Brothers was there. Great entertainment. It was a nice change to be a listener rather than a guy up there singing. So that was awesome to look at some music. Also, too, and finally, I encourage everybody to stay in touch with city government and be involved. We ask that you attend the council meetings, if not in person, online, definitely. And if you have any questions, just reach out to us directly. We definitely want to answer all your questions. We just ask that you don't rely on, secondhand or potentially flawed information you might see online. As I say, in the world of social media, measure twice and cut once. So so just be careful out there. So we're committed to giving you the correct information. So definitely call us. Our numbers are listed. Our emails are listed. We definitely would love to talk to you about anything going on in the city of Bastrop, because we genuinely care about the city. That's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Lowe. Councilmember Meyer.
Thank you, Mayor. I think the mayor and Councilmember Lowe covered so many events, and so much has happened since we've been together. But I just want to let you know about some things coming up. This Thursday, which is the 15th, Judy is serving taco soup and cornbread at the American Legion from noon till it's gone. So if you want to have some taco soup and cornbread, going up to the American Legion. And stop by there, too. If you hadn't been to the Legion in a long time, stop by the Legion. They do such great work up there, and give them your support, because they're a huge part of our community, and they're a huge asset for us. So support would be greatly appreciated for the Legion. This Saturday, January 17th, we're going to have music in the museum, which is down on Main Street. It's going to be by John and Jen. It's from 12 to 1 in the museum, and it's free. So come on downtown on Saturday and listen to some free music in the museum. Then we're going to go back to the American Legion on January 24th, because they're having one of their annual chili cook-off. And if you've never been to a chili cook-off at the Legion, you've never been to a chili cook-off, because they cook some mean chili up there, and they're pretty competitive. And they have some great prizes, too. And it's just a lot of fun and a great community event, so go support them. And lastly, I want to thank everyone, which is Michaela, Caitlin, Marco, and Michelle, at our new Discover Bastrop. They have done just a bang-up job over the holidays and this upcoming year. So many things going on. And I want to give a big shout-out to Michelle Lemus, who is heading up the Cultural Arts Committee. And they had a meeting today, and she's got it. I see Lisa in the audience. She was there, and Michelle's got it lined up for the year. She took charge with the bird ceremony this past weekend and did a bang-up job, she and Michaela. So just a big shout-out to Discover Bastrop. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Meyer. Mayor Pro Tem Kirkland.
Yes, so it was a good break. May I be the last person to wish you Merry Christmas, or maybe the first for this year. Hard to say. Happy New Year. I became a grandfather and had a birthday. I'm pretty sure I crossed over the Old Man Bridge. Thank you to the city staff for not scheduling any emergencies over the break. But now it's back to work. So we got back and our calendar started filling up like crazy. We've got meetings and banquets and ribbon cuttings and groundbreakings. And Mr. City Secretary, I have 2 slots at 6 a.m. on a Sunday if you need some more, meeting times. I want to say congratulations to the Opera House. You guys got a whole metric ton of awards very recently. What's that called again? The Broadway Austin Awards, and we won a whole bunch of them, as we usually do. Our Bastrop Opera House, it It fights above its weight class or something like that. Fights above its weight class. We attract both talent, skill, directors, and even visitors from all over Central Texas, and it shows in the results. So we've got favorite local theater house, the Bastrop Opera House, best direction of a musical, Lisa Holcomb, best performer in a musical, Will Martin, best supporting performer in a musical, Jason Farley, best musical direction and orchestra performance, Mark Leonetti, best choreography of a play or musical, Melissa Ford, and best costume design of a play or musical, Lisa Holcomb and Marissa Hunt, in A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. And so congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Councilmember Plunkett.
See, once again, they took all the good stuff. But no, I just wanted to also express my thanks to Carlos Lariano and Los Pines Toyota for hosting the kickoff to Mardi Gras event last weekend. Anybody who missed it, you missed it. It was really good. It's growing every year. This is only our third year.
Yes.
Doing Mardi Gras, and I'm very encouraged at how the whole event, which will happen here that will end at the end of January, which is before Mardi Gras, but we have to do that for our Louisiana friends. But please participate in all those events because you'll really enjoy it. There's a lot of good times. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Plunkett. Councilmember Fossler.
Thank you. Happy New Year, y'all. I got to do something really exciting. Me and 3 Bastropians last week went to Houston to join 100 other dancers at the Toyota Center and danced for the Rockets halftime show. It was so cool. I've never been to a professional anything, professional sports thing, and I've for sure never performed at one. And it was just the opportunity of a lifetime. So I'm so grateful we got to go with 3 people from Bastrop, and we were on the Jumbotron. And I'll probably never get to say that again. It was so cool.
You're probably the only person that was in that building that night that called what you went to a sports thing.
A sports thing. I'm a Houstonian. I know. It was a sports thing. It was a really good game. I stayed till the end. It was very riveting. No hablo sports. I want to talk about 2 events next Friday. CapCog Bastrop County Day is coming here next Friday on January 23rd from 10:30 to 1:30 p.m. at the Bastrop County Community Center. It's at 15 American Legion Drive, and they will feed you lunch if you register. So CapCog is Capital Area Council of Governments. It's the 10 counties surrounding us, and us included. And we meet regionally to work on all kinds of issues, but their staff is coming, and their director, and these are the different divisions that are coming to talk about. Regional Planning and Services, Aging Services, Emergency Communications, Homeland Security, and Regional Law Enforcement Academy. So if any of that's interesting to you, please come next Friday. It's for elected officials and for community members. It's going to be presentation style and then town hall style and listening session style. So it's definitely looking for feedback from the community about how to regionally collaborate on all those important issues. And then next Friday night is our employee celebration to celebrate our City of Bastrop staff. So you can't come to that unless you're sitting at the back, but I wanted to tell you about it. It's a cool time. And then I also wanted to say condolences to former Mayor Lyle on the passing of his wife. Thanks, y'all.
All right, thank you, Councilmember Fossler. Madam City Manager.
Really just one item to report, and we talked about that in the workshop, is that we will be bringing you the throwing variants for Mardi Gras. This will be the first year we have the lighted night parade for Mardi Gras. And so as I stated before, you got to have some walkers on either side of your floats, but we're super excited to be able to toss beads and candy and stuffed animals and everything else that makes Mardi Gras so special during the New Orleans time. I got a whole lot in the year in review. I'm going to save it for that.
Okay, sounds wonderful. Thank you, everyone, for your reports. I would say some more on Mardi Gras, but I'm sure Michaela probably going to throw some stuff out there, so I don't want to take away from her. I know she has some event recaps and other reports to do. So on to agenda item 4D, event recap numbers submitted by Michaela with Discover Bastrop. Absolutely. So we're going to skip 4D. We'll come back to it. We're going to go to 4E and on to the Veterans Day Car Show plaque. Again, presented by Michaela, our Discover Bastrop director. Sounds less authoritative, but smoother.
What number is the 4E maybe, is that the Veterans Day?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we skip to that one and do that one first while I'm doing this?
So that's what we're doing. We skipped over 4D. We're going to do 4E. That's the Veterans Day car show.
Well, then I think the Bastrop,
Area cruisers. Good evening, gentlemen. How are y'all?
We're pretty good. We're pretty good.
Welcome to our fantastic council meeting.
My name is Bill Zielag, and I'm one of the members, and was one of the car show co-chairs for our November 8th, and I appreciate your comments at the beginning about positivity and having fun, and I hope that everybody had fun on November 7th and 8th at the car show.
I absolutely had a blast.
I know it's a big event in town, and with me is our president, Tom Rosser, and we have a couple of plaques that we'd like to present to the mayor and the city manager to show appreciation. We call it a special partner plaque. We also give one to the museum because they're a big part of it. But I'll let Tom kind of give a little recap of anything that he wants to say about the car show, and then we'll do a plaque. And we also have a plaque. Discover Bastrop was kind of in the midst of, they didn't have a logo when we were, doing certain things when we started, but so we have a plaque that says for downtown Bastrop, because that's what they said to use at that time, but it really is for Discover Bastrop. So we want to present those two plaques to the appropriate people.
So the Bastrop Area Cruisers are proud to be a part of the community and to serve the local organizations, veteran organizations, student organizations. 80% of our profit goes towards veteran groups, both local and national. We support scholarships for different auto tech groups in Bastrop County. And we work a long time from probably April through November trying to pull off, and we really appreciate the support that Bastrop gives us in pulling it off. They're very responsive to our needs, and we're very happy to be a part of the community.
We're happy that y'all are a part of the community. We really appreciate everything that y'all do. We appreciate the amount of veterans that you show love to and support, and how much this event has grown. Bastrop is definitely I want to say veteran friendly. We're a veteran loving community, and so this is something I look forward to every year. I know the veterans look forward to it every year, and I was grateful and thankful to be a part of the ceremony this year. It's really moving and inspiring. And again, I appreciate everything that y'all do for our community.
And we certainly thank all the businesses too, because we wouldn't be able to donate the amount of money that we do. We have some on your city council, for example, and I'm sure there's others in the room, but so we really appreciate all the support from many businesses, like Craig's Jewelry is our major sponsor, and Covert Chevrolet is our secondary major sponsor, so we appreciate that as well. And so Michaela and Marco were tremendous in working with us, and we appreciate. Marco stepped in there, he was brand new and he was learning things, but he was like a pro, excellent on communication and follow-up and anything we asked, and Michaela was leading the way. So we have this first plaque to present. I don't know if you want a picture.
Yes, they're gonna want a picture. Y'all get to take have your pictures taken multiple times tonight.
And I'd like to ask Doug to come up too, because Doug is a very important part of our club, so he's kind of going both ways.
Hey, Doug's a very important part of our city here too. Yeah.
Presenting and receiving a plaque at the same time. The other one is for the city, if you want to get the mayor and the city manager.
Do y'all want to take them individually with Marco? I don't want to take away from his shine and what he's doing. So.
this local magazine. It's called Car Culture, Hill Country Car Culture, on page 22, I think it is. There's a four-page article about the car show. Yeah, one to you, and you can share the rest.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Tom and Bill. We appreciate it. Okay, Michaela, are you ready to go
I'm ready now.
to
Sorry about
4D for the
Yes.
event recap numbers?
Yes, sorry about that delay.
No, that was totally fine.
I've been having computer problems all day.
All of us have.
Oh, man. Okay, so it's been a hot minute since I've seen you all. Last time I saw you, we were gearing up, for the Lighted Christmas Parade and other things, and now we're bracing for Mardi Gras. So we are getting there slowly but surely. But of course, with the new transition of the new department with Discover Bastrop, a lot of stuff we wanted to do is be more transparent on things, utilize the tools that we have out there. And of course, we are always doing tons of events, not only us internally, but we support several events as well. So I went through and grabbed. We use what's called Placer AI, and the way that software works is it's pinging your cell phones. So if you are in a designated boundary that I can determine, it pings those cell phones and it can tell me actually quite a bit of information about you. I don't want to scare anyone out there. I kept it pretty simple tonight, but it does get pretty in depth. So basically what I did is I put together a slide tonight of all of our events that we do internally, and then I did a slide at the end with kind of our big supported ones as well. So I'll just walk you through those tonight. Some of these might be a little bit tough to see, but I'll be able to read it through for you. Colin, do you have a clicker? Does one of you have a clicker? Perfect. Okay. So overall, this is just for kind of the downtown boundaries as a whole. It does get kind of confusing sometimes because we are referred to as the Main Street program, but we really are downtown Bastrop. So we're not talking just Main Street. We're talking Main Street down Chestnut Street to Film Alley. I should have included a map for you guys there, but basically it's a bigger scope than you think. But the big numbers I want to point out on this slide is for 2025, we had approximately 1.5 million visitors through our downtown. Yes, that's an incredible number. So what's really interesting though is you get down the fourth one down there, it says visitors. So there's a difference in a visit and a visitor. Basically what that's telling us is that 309,000 people individually went through, but multiple people visited multiple times, which is really exciting to see because that means a lot of our locals are actually revisiting downtown and becoming frequent flyers downtown, which comparing this to some other downtowns, my previous downtown specifically, we didn't see those kind of numbers. So as much as we are tourism facing, it is really exciting to see that our locals support our downtown and are returning. Average dwelling time downtown is about 82 minutes, and then the visits year over year, we're up about almost 3%. So we are slowly but surely increasing every year. 2 years ago, we're up almost 4.5%, 3 years, 4.9. So we are slowly increasing. Next slide for me.
So just real quick, for those who wonder where the growth and why the growth, like, it's that many people that come here and visit, and you can only imagine the percentage that decide to fall in love and want to stay. So there you go.
Yeah. Yes, really exciting numbers. And it's cool because, we'll be able to visit this year after year and see the growth continue. This one is just a little bit more in depth. This shows me a snapshot. And again, we're talking the whole year right now with this view. So this shows me kind of in a trend. Obviously, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday tend to be our busiest days downtown. And then you can jump in even further and see on the right side there, it tells us our busiest peaks for downtown is around lunchtime and then around dinner time, which definitely matches with all of our restaurants downtown. Next slide. This one, and this is just showing you guys a little bit of the platform as well that I'm grabbing screenshots for. This also right here on the left side shows me approximately last year for all of 2025, our visitors, 66% of them were from the county and then everything else past that is from surrounding counties and then further out. The little screen grab to the right shows you kind of like a heat map of where we're seeing our visitors come from. So of course, we're getting a lot of the regional right there in Austin and things like that. But what's really interesting is we're seeing quite a bit of bump in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So as it relates to marketing and things like that, these are tools that we'll be using to say, maybe Dallas is interested in us. Of course, we want to recruit Dallas people down here. They're a higher chance of staying the night and making it a long weekend. So we'll start to do some strategic marketing up in the Dallas area. Of course, you see some purple over there in Louisiana because we've got our Louisiana crew. But it's really cool to see this kind of at a big, like a zoomed out version of it. So next slide for me.
Before you move on, do you have any idea what the little red dot is that's north of Houston, between Austin and Houston?
Whoop.
Stop that. That's too far north.
Oh, see, I'm not an Aggie, so I didn't catch that, but I'm caught on now. Yes.
No, it's this intense red spot that's super tiny. So
Yeah.
I'm just curious, like what
Yeah,
that is.
we're getting some College Station crowds. That's what that's saying.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Like Rockdale, Thorndale area.
Yeah. 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 All right, so this is where we kind of start to get to a little bit more of the nitty gritty on each of the groups. And I know we've got a long agenda tonight, so I'm going to try and just kind of breeze through these. But just to let all of you guys know, council-wise, each of these reports that we run is about 8 pages, and it can go pretty in depth. I just pulled a lot of the kind of bigger information for us to go over tonight, but you guys will all have access to those reports, and you can dig into them a little bit deeper, and of course, follow up with me if you have additional questions. So for Mardi Gras last year, we had a little 7.6 thousand total visitors and I just ran the festival specifically. So this is the Saturday chunk of our Mardi Gras last year. I didn't run the ball numbers, but so approximately almost 7,500 last year. Average dwelling time was 133 minutes, which is a pretty good time, keeping them down there. And then 60.7% were from the county. So we can kind of take a guess that the other 40% was from outside of the county. I did include screen grabs. I thought they were kind of interesting. If you look to that first screen grab on the right, it shows you 97% were from Texas, but then you start to get down into, there were 100 individuals from Louisiana that joined us, 34 from Virginia, 22 from Minnesota, 18 from Wisconsin. So you can start to drill in that, not only did we bring in quite a few Texans, of course, we were also bringing in people from other states. So that's exciting. And then I didn't include the bottom screen grab on every post, but I wanted to show you guys, and I know it's hard for some of us here to see, but that list right there shows me prior and past or post events. So that's telling me where people came from before they came downtown to Mardi Gras and where they went to after Mardi Gras. And you'll see Buc-ee's is the top on there. Yep. Which is always a good assumption. I mean, that seems like, a lot of our travelers probably stopped there before or after they came in. And then another thing I want to point on, I know it's kind of down there, but number 9 on that list for prior says Hampton Inn. It's always really good when we see our hotels showing up on this, because this is definitely correlation that we had people coming in, staying at the Hampton, coming from the Hampton to stay downtown for our festival. So
And then to Specs Liquor.
Hey, keep the party going, no judgment. Yeah. So next slide. It's probably Whataburger, if I'm being honest. I don't know if anyone's...
Probably is the Whataburger,
Yep,
not
yep.
Tractor Supply, because I'm not sure
Yeah.
what they would be doing.
Yeah. Okay, so jumping into Big Bang here, there is an asterisk on Big Bang because some of these events are not hot funded. So I did include some of our city events, but Big Bang specifically is not coming out of the hot fund. So it's technically not currently a tourism event.
Do you have year over year, like from the Mardi Gras before last year and then this one? Okay.
Yes. So some of these I included them, like Big Bang for has it on here, but I was realizing that it was skewed because what Placer AI does is it says, okay, this weekend last year it's up 25%. But if the date moves around,
Right, you know, you need
it
an
messes
exact
it up.
map, yeah.
So what I can do is I just need to change the dates for every year, and I can show you that year over year.
Okay.
Yep. Some of them are accurate depending on what event they are and when they fall, but some of them it was skewed, and I didn't catch that until later on because I was like, some of these numbers seem a lot higher than I would, but it was because the date moves around. That's why I did not include it for Mardi Gras, because our Mardi Gras has moved around. Okay, so Big Bang here. We had approximately 10,000 total visitors for the day on June 28th. So Big Bang kind of gets split into a couple different things throughout the day. We start with the Pet Pal Parade in the morning. We move into, it was Freedom on Wheels this year. It was a new concept we did. And we did some North Main games. And then in the evening, we of course conclude with fireworks. So for Pet Pal Parade / Freedom on Wheels, we had a little over 2,000 visitors downtown. And then for fireworks down in the park, we had a little over 6,000 visitors for the parade, or not the parade, the fireworks. Average dwelling time was 112 minutes year over year. Like I said, this one's 97. I need to check that because that doesn't seem right. So I will check that and put together like a table that actually shows us the year over year. But 65% were from Bastrop County. And then if you look on that table to the right, we actually had, quite a few from Florida, 61 people individually from Florida, 36 from New York, Wisconsin. We can, of course, kind of make an assumption that some of these people were maybe in town visiting for the holidays, visiting family, but still really nice to see that we're seeing other states coming in. Next slide. Christmas in July. This was a first-time event for us. Main Street Advisory / staff pulled this together within like a month because we realized July and August tends to be a really rough time downtown. It just gets real hot out there and people don't want to be outside. So we brought Christmas in July forward. We had about 3.2 thousand visitors for that day. Dwelling time was about 86 minutes year over year. Now this one is interesting because it was up 4.3%, which isn't much, but that's up for 4% from a random Friday last year. So we did see, at least a little bit more foot traffic that day. And then 70% of those visitors were from Bastrop County specifically. Next slide. Bastrop Live was a new initiative this year. As you guys know, we didn't have the music festival this year, but we had, we wanted to do something with live music, kind of do something new, see how it went. So we ran live music throughout the whole month of September. These numbers are going to be a little bit skewed. Like if I wanted, if we wanted to, we could zoom in each individual location that hosted music, and we could pull numbers on each venue and day and show. Like you can get really granular with this. I kept this one broad just for the whole month of September. So for September in 2025, we had 115,000 visitors through downtown. Average dwelling time was 82 minutes. Year over year went up to 1.3. So we can assume that for the month of September, we saw an increase in people downtown. And then 69.4% were from Bastrop County. That 60% number seems to be about what we fall for all of our events across the board. And then again, just a screen grab of, I actually zoomed in a little bit. This one was by county. So Bastrop was the top county, and then it went to Travis, Fayette, Lee, Harris, and then so on from there. Next slide. Boo Bash, again, it's got that asterisk. So this is not a current hot funded event. It's a community event. But we did have a little over 6,000 visitors for October 31st. And man, oh man, I don't know if any of y'all made it down to Boo Bash, but it was a packed evening down there. It gets crazy for the couple hours, but so yeah, a little over 6,000 makes sense. It was insane. Average dwelling time was about 71 minutes. Year over year, up to 37%, and this one is accurate because it's running the same day. So we did see a pretty big boom, and of course that makes sense with this falling on Friday night last year. 77.6% were from Bastrop County, which Boo Bash is very much a regional trick-or-treating event. So next slide.
Real quick question. Can you go back to that?
Yep.
So those are people from the different states, correct, and cities?
That one
Correct.
is, that one's county.
Okay, well, I'm looking at San Francisco, right? And so is
Oh,
99
yes.
people from San Francisco here?
Yep.
Man, these numbers are crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Well, yeah, I mean, I'm a 49ers fan, but, it's just, 99 people from San Francisco here for Halloween.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what was really going on, but,
I don't know. Well, it's always interesting too, because you could get really granular, like if we were, for instance, say we had a convention going on at the convention
Right.
center, or like what other things were happening here that maybe people were in town for.
No, it definitely had to be something. Everything else is from local here in Texas. Then it's 99 people from San Francisco.
Yeah, there
and
had to
they
have been
didn't even
something
bring me
going
any
on.
memorabilia. How dare them?
I don't know if it relates, but we actually had, I think the Hampton, TJ had brought in the, I'm going to draw a blank on the name, but it was like a kennel club. Like it was a big dog show that we had. It was over in Giddings, but I know quite a few people stayed here. So I don't know, maybe that's the correlation.
That very well could have been it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next slide. Okay, Wassel Fest. This event has grown tremendously, and we had 4.6 thousand visitors, but we did not have enough cups for that many people. So we have definitely heard that they want more cups. However, it's tough because, I know for a fact that majority of our businesses went through approximately 8 gallons of wassail that night, and that's 1 to 2 ounces per participant. So it's going to be interesting for the next couple years of Wassail Fest because unfortunately we are going to have to cap that event just for logistics and planning. So anyone out there that's listening that did not get a cup this year, make sure you pre-register early to save yourself a cup. Average dwelling time was about 94 minutes. This did go up from last year. If anyone recalls, the A&M UT game fell on Wassail Fest last year. So we lost quite a few people at like 6:30, but it definitely went through way later this evening. We were up about 7.4%, 60.5% Bastrop County. And then I included a screen grab on the right. You'll see Texas, Nevada, Colorado, Minnesota. I'm going to call a quick shout out because there's Kansas on the list right there, and there's 14 individuals, and those were actually all of my family members. So.
Oh, look at
Yes.
that. Came in and clutch for you.
Yeah. But it was kind
help
of fun.
skew the numbers a little bit.
They came down for Thanksgiving, and I said, hey, you guys are all going to Wassail Fest. I don't know what to tell you.
No other choice.
Yeah. But, yeah, I did. But, I can vouch that this data is accurate because I can name those people. And 14. Yep. So, yes. And I will say, I guess it's, maybe I don't have to say, but these numbers aren't calculating obviously kids. So like those Boo Bash numbers, for example, you can kind of estimate that it'll be increased a little bit because of all the kids. So this one, for example, like I had 2 nieces there and they don't have cell phones, so therefore they were not counted. So there's always going to be a little bit of an increase as it relates to kiddos, but kiddos aren't spending money, so we prioritize the adults here. So, all right, next slide. Okay, tree lighting and River of Lights. So these 2 events are general fund and not currently hot funds, but incredible numbers. I think the River of Lights has definitely become more of a tourist destination. So throughout the whole January 28th from the night of the tree lighting I ran it to January 2nd, we had approximately a little over 60,000 people walk through Fisherman's Park. Incredible numbers to see. Average dwelling time about 30 minutes. Year over year, about 6.8% up, which is great. That means we're, seeing an increase in our holiday traffic. 71% was from Bastrop County. Oh, I want to backtrack real quick for a second. And I started to mention this in the beginning, but that 60,000 total visitors, but then I put in parentheses that 45,000 unique visitors. So what that means is we had 45,000 individuals come, and then that jump up to 60,000 tells me that about 15,000 returned. So it may have been one of you going down there multiple times. See? There you go. Yeah.
Kayla, that bullet's November 28th to January 2nd, right?
Oh, yes, that is from January. Yes, that's November 28th to January 2nd. That wouldn't work very well. Yeah. Yeah. So the tree lighting specifically, I did zoom in a little bit on that. So the night of the tree lighting from 5 to 10 p.m. on November 28th, there's the right date, We had 2.8 thousand down there for that. And then I screen grabbed on the right. The screen grab on the right is the event as a whole, so the whole couple months that it ran. So we've got Texas up there, California, Illinois, Washington, Oklahoma, Oregon, etc. And those are all those are all double digits, 95, 88. So a fairly good amount of other states coming in and visiting that. Next slide. Mary on Main. This happens before the Christmas parade on December 13th. We had a little bit of rain that morning, so we were kind of worried about it, but it actually turned out to be a beautiful day. 4.6 thousand visitors from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. specifically. Average dwelling time was about 88 minutes. That year over year, up 76%. That's where I started to realize, yes, we had an increase for sure, I could tell, but I don't know that was pulling the right number, so I need to double check that. But 65% were from Bastrop County, and then again, you can see those numbers on the right from other states. Next slide. And then the good old lighted Christmas parade. Man, we made it through it. I've heard nothing but good things, though, so that's really exciting. Yeah, I think I recognize her. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he made an appearance in the background there. Yeah. So, yes, for Christmas parade specifically, from 4 to 9 o'clock, we saw almost 10,000 people downtown, y'all. That's incredible. Yeah, I was going to say, add in the kids. It was incredible. We had record numbers for floats, and from what I've gathered so far, it was the most streamlined process for registration and everything, so excited to see that. Average dwelling time was 112 minutes, year over year up 36%, 69% from Bastrop County. And then again, those screen grabs from the right. We've got quite a few people from Illinois. I don't know if anyone has some family out there that's... Yeah. I'm excited though because we did do registration online this year, so instead of a paper form. So probably about 3 days after the Christmas parade, I turned around and emailed all of the registrants from the parade and said, hey, don't put those floats up. We've got Mardi Gras in a month. So, and the fact that we're duplicating the same layout, the same route, the same registration process, I'm really excited to see how many floats we get for the Mardi Gras parade this year. Okay, next slide. So these are supported events. These are kind of we support a lot of things, but these are kind of a lot of the bigger items that we tend to support. And I'm realizing that this isn't the current one because Juneteenth isn't correct. 11.2. Okay, I managed to just miss Juneteenth on here, which is funny because Miss Sheila is in the audience as well. I was excited to share those numbers with her. Specifically on these items, though, it's something that we want to do and get into the practice of doing, and now that I've ran all the reports, is we want to be sharing this information with the organizers of these events so they can continue to grow. Again, they can use it as market research on who's coming and where to spend market dollars and things like that. So following this meeting, I will be sending out the full report to these organizations as well. So I'll skip over Juneteenth for tonight. I apologize for that. I'll need to get that updated. Corvette invasion last year brought in almost 3,000 people from July 18th to 19th. And when you guys zoom into those reports, when you have the full paper packet, you can see the boundaries that I drew for each of these. So Corvette invasion is just the convention center. We zoomed into the convention center. So there were approximately 3,000 people for Corvette invasion from the 18th to 19th. Average dwelling time was 123 minutes. I didn't get the year over year because this one is an example of one that moves. 39% of Bastrop County visitors, which is actually the lowest.
Yeah, very different.
So what that tells me is that Corvette invasion is bringing in quite a few people from outside of the county. Yes, which is a great thing to see. We want to see that continue. And I know the organizers of that event do an incredible job on their marketing and stuff like that. So we only expect that to continue growing. And then I had the other states in there as well. Instead of the screenshot, I went through and calculated or added up just how many other states, and I just didn't get it updated in there. Jumping into homecoming, total visits, and homecoming boundaries, I geofenced the Mayfest Park specifically. So another layer of homecoming is homecoming and Juneteenth will be the parade route specifically. But for this grab, just for time's sake purposes, for the homecoming, I just geofenced Mayfest Park. So from July 29th to August 2nd, we had a little over 11,000 visitors at Mayfest Park. More specifically, for August 2nd, which tends to be the biggest day, 5.3K visitors at Mayfest Park that day. So we are filling that radio arena for
Yeah,
that day.
just imagine when we get around to getting the upgrades up there. Yeah.
And what's really cool, because Mayfest has been an interesting one of, it's been currently just a community asset, but we want to start programming it more and utilizing it more and getting more tourist things
Yes.
out there. And we're on that brink right now, because I can run Mayfest for the whole year and I can see about 46% is local use, and then the other half, or vice versa, we're like 53%. So it's on the brink there of being half local, half utilized
Out of
by
town.
outside.
Right.
Yes. So excited to see those numbers continue. We had about 10 other states visit for homecoming on that list. And then Veterans Day Car Show, lastly, a little over 11,000 visitors for the 7th and the 8th. The average dwelling time was 99 minutes. 63% from Bastrop County. I broke it down for the 7th specifically from 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. to essentially midnight. We had 2,000 visitors that Friday. And then moving on to the 8th for that Saturday, 6.2 thousand. And about 15 other states joined us for that event.
So I know you don't have the numbers, right, for Juneteenth, but if y'all look at that picture to the right, right, that shows how much the Juneteenth event has grown
Yes.
over the last few years, especially the street dance. Like, y'all, that is from Spring Street all the way to Chestnut, right? The whole street jam-packed full of people dancing. So that just kind of gives you an idea of what it was. And that's just in the nighttime, not what we
Yes.
had going on in the day. So
Yep. Yeah, I will get those numbers updated for sure and put those in there. I think that's my last slide, though. So that was a lot of talking and a lot of numbers to throw at you. Like I said, I'll send you guys the packets. I was going to get them printed out, but I figured we'll start with just a shared drive for you to go through first, and then if you're a paper person, then we can talk about printing them. But yeah, so you can go a little bit more in depth into those. Like I said, it can get really granular. I can tell you how many men versus females were at these events. I can tell you age demographics. Like, we can get really granular. But it's a huge marketing tool. It's a great asset for us to have as software. And like I said, I'll share this out for all of you guys, and then as well as our organizers. Any questions?
Councilmember Meyer?
No, not a question, just an applause again to you and Discover Bastrop. Seriously, y'all. Since I've been on council, I've never had this granular, and I love it because I want to know where the money is being spent and how we're getting a return, because we're all about our ROIs. But this is what we have needed forever, Michaela. So just another big thank you for that. And maybe next time we'll just see what everybody had for breakfast, or
Yeah.
just for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Not
throw
really.
some things
Yeah.
in there. Right?
Thank you again. Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I appreciate it. This really gives us an idea of how we're growing and what we're doing here in Bastrop, and it confirms to even what I said about the Veterans Day Car Show, right? Just how great it is for our community. I didn't know the numbers would be that high, but that's fantastic, right? And so I'm looking forward to future events in Bastrop. I'm looking forward to them growing. The more people that visit, the more that's put back into our community. And so, this is a fantastic thing. So, yeah. And I'm curious about the Mardi Gras numbers.
I was going to say, with Mardi Gras right around the corner, actually,
Yeah.
I'll be able to bring that one back to you probably in mid-February and show you the numbers from what I just presented tonight to what we look like for next year, or this current year. But, yeah.
And if y'all don't know what she's talking about with Mardi Gras, January 30th is the Mardi Gras Ball, and the 31st is the Mardi Gras event. We're going to have 2 parades, 1 in the morning time is going to be an umbrella parade, like a second line dance type of deal. Events throughout the day, gumbo cook-off, and then we're going to have the nighttime Mardi Gras parade. So if you don't have anything going on that weekend,
We got plenty.
there's going to be plenty to do here, starting with the Mardi Gras ball on that Friday. Tickets are $40, or you can get a table. And and if you want to participate in the gumbo cook-off, you have a few more days to register for that. And if you just want to be a willing eating participant, you can get your tickets on Eventbrite to participate in that as well. Last year we had some really, really, really good gumbo to choose from. And most of those people, if not all of them, are going to be back this year to defend their title or try to take the title. So,
Yep.
yeah, if you think yours is good, bring it on. I'll let you know. Thank you so much, Michaela. We appreciate it.
I think I come right back up. Let me-
Yeah, you do. You don't even leave. Oh, okay. Well, go ahead and get it. So we're on to agenda item 4F.
So, Mayor, I would be remiss without saying, not only did Discover Bastrop pull it off, they also saved money doing it, which allows us to support our community assets
Awesome.
in a more realistic manner.
Thank you.
We are nothing without our assets. Our assets, like our Opera House and the other assets that make our downtown so special. So this is just the tip of the iceberg of what I think this staff's going to be able to accomplish.
And with that tool, that Placer AI, with our assets as well, I'll be able to geofence the Opera House, for example, and we can look at the year and we can show you how many people from all over are visiting our Opera House. So that'll be a tool available to all.
I want to see it, and I'm sure Lisa wants to see
Yeah.
it as well. Like, they've increased their production. They've regained even more popularity. And, I mean, of course, the awards that they won, the Bastrop Opera House is on the map.
Absolutely. Yep. Okay.
All right, so 4F.
Yes, for this item, we have some members in the audience here. I think what I am going to do here is I'm going to read through all the awards, and then we'll bring everyone up and do pictures, if that sounds good for everybody.
Sounds
Yeah?
good.
Okay, so Christmas Parade. I want to first thank our MCs, Mr. Mayor Harris and Becky Womble. They MC'd for us, and we heard great things. You guys were great on the mics up there, very personable, and so thank you for that.
That comes from years of watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day
There you
Parade.
go. There you go. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah,
He was just waiting to be called on.
Yeah, man.
It's his time to shine. He had some quick jokes up there too. I was like, oh, that's funny. That's good. So good time for that. Thank you, Frontier, for letting us use the balcony. Frontier is also graciously letting us use the balcony for Mardi Gras as well. And then we had a great group of judges as well. Debbie Denny has led the judging for this for several years, and she did it again for us this year. So shout out to those judges for helping us out. Without further ado, I will just run through these awards. Our best original entry is presented to the Dinosaur Park.
Yeah, they had the Triceratops. That's my favorite dinosaur, so I appreciate y'all.
It was
wish
kind of
we'd have
funny,
had
as
pictures.
staff, we saw everybody starting to post their pictures of their floats, and we saw that the dinosaur was getting a bath about 2 days before, so he was shiny and ready to go. All right, our best group entry goes to the Bastrop Opera House. Best emergency vehicle decoration goes to our very own Bastrop Fire Department.
Yay.
The best car group was Copper Shot Distillery. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but I think Copper Shot won the Mayor's Award for the Veterans Day Car Show as well. So they've been putting that thing to work. All right, the best marching band this year goes to the Cedar Creek High School. Our best pedestrian group goes to Compass Rose Harvest Cheerleaders. I think that was their first time in our parade too, so Most beautiful lighted float. This is always a popular one. Paraback Plumbing.
Yay.
All right. The best reason for the season entry goes to Celebration Church. All right. Here we go. Our third overall best entry this year goes to Down Home Ranch. Our second overall best entry this year, Summit Outdoors. And last but certainly not least, our number one choice for the overall best entry goes to Aqua Water Supply.
Yay.
All right, if any of you guys are in the audience, if you guys would start to make your way up, we'll divvy out these awards. And then council, if you guys would come up, we're gonna snap your pictures.
Congratulations to all of y'all. And thank you for making our lighted Christmas parade so wonderful.
Yes.
How you doing, sir? Give that to Lisa.
Okay, we're gonna go one group at a time. Who's taking dibs first? Eeny, meeny, miny, Aqua. Thank you guys, congratulations. Here, go on. You want to hold your certificate open? You gotta show it off. There you go. All right. Upper house. You can open it. There you go. Loud and proud. Congrats. Summit. There you go. He gets it. Mr. Andreas, are you going to come accept this on behalf of your team?
He's acting shy. He's acting shy. You guys knocked it out of the park, literally, out of the dinosaur park.
Okay.
My grandkids love that park. Love it.
Okay, I think that's it from me for the evening. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right. Thank you again, Michaela and Discover Bastrop team. You guys and gals have done an amazing job, and I'm looking forward to what else you have in store for us this coming up year. So thank you. All right, on to agenda item 4G. Proclamation for the Martin Luther King Jr. Walk. So, whereas Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. challenged our nation to recognize that individual liberty relies upon our common equality, and whereas at a time when our nation was sharply divided, Dr. King called on a generation of Americans to be voices of reason, sanity, and understanding amid the voices of violence, hatred, and emotion. And whereas Dr. King devoted his life to the struggle of justice and equality, sowing seeds of hope for the day when all people might claim the riches of freedom and the security of justice. And whereas on the Martin Luther King Jr. federal holiday, we commemorate the 40th anniversary of the holiday, signed into law in 1983 and first observed in 1986, recognizing one of America's greatest visionary leaders. And whereas in 1963, now 63 years ago, Dr. King delivered the iconic I Have a Dream speech, which reminds us to recognize that in all these challenging times, too many Americans face limited opportunities, but our capacity to support each other remains limitless, allowing us to face the challenges with the same strength, persistence, and determination exhibited by Dr. King. And whereas the American people are called to engage in public service and promote nonviolent social change, that Dr. King's unfinished movement towards equality can be achieved by our united, enduring efforts. And whereas all citizens are urged to join in the 37th annual Bastrop County Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday Commission Walk for Peace, Justice, and Equality on January 19, 2026 in Elgin, beginning at 10 a.m. at Veterans Memorial Park, 109 Depot Street, and ending at about 11 a.m. at the Booker T. Washington Elementary School, 510 Martin Luther King Boulevard, where the program will be held. And whereas all citizens are urged to join with Bastrop High School, Smithfield High School, Elgin High School, McDade High School, Cedar Creek High School, and Colorado River Collegiate Academy in supporting the scholarship program during the annual walk. And whereas the walk's theme is a day on, not a day off, whereby our community celebrates the life and legacy of Dr. King. Now therefore I, Ishmael Harris, Mayor of the City of Bastrop, do hereby proclaim Monday, January 19, 2026, as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the official seal of the City of Bastrop, Texas, to be affixed on this 13th day of January 2026. Thank you. So please, y'all, if you don't have anything to do, show up to Elgin. In case you don't know, Bastrop, Elgin, and Smithfield, we join efforts every year in the county, and we do this walk. Each city rotates and takes a turn to where they're hosting it. This year, Elgin is hosting it. I would really love to see Bastrop show up and show full support. I'm saying this because Elgin is always going to have people, even when they come here, they seem to bring more people than what we have. So let's go here this year and show how much we love and support each other in the community and respect what Dr. King had to do and say. So thank you. All right. On to the long part of our presentation. Agenda item 4H, the 2025 year in review.
I'll try to be quick. You're going to get just hearing about everything you guys did last year. So, last year, there was a total of 173 total published meetings. That is city council meetings, that is planning and zoning meetings, that is board and committee meetings, that is special meetings, that is joint meetings. There's 173 meetings last year. That's not including the publication for quorum because you were at an event. That's not including the publication for quorum because you all happened to be invited somewhere that you were showing up together. So
That number seems light. Are you sure that's not all? Yeah, just. Yeah.
Which is why staff is deadly exhausted in the back all of the time, which is why we have a 10 o'clock cutoff now. All right, so let's go into just some quick highlights from the departments, because several of my departments paid attention and submitted their information. The rest shall be nameless. Finance achieved the FY24 Government Finance Officers Association Budget Award despite a late submittal, because our budget was that good. Municipal Court implemented new software, Cloud Gavel. I call it paper light because it is not paperless. Somehow or another, Municipal Court just can't get there. Not because of us, it's the legislature. They pursued training and collection initiatives, and they referred 331 cases or $154,000 worth of fees and fines to legal, of which 10% has already been collected. That is a record for Municipal Court. We have Police Department improve their technology and training. They reorganized. She no longer has an assistant chief. Instead, she has 3 leadership positions, and she remains on track for accreditation. The city secretary, despite his personal accomplishments that he sent, had a successful special election in 2025. Water and wastewater, this one bullet just doesn't seem to do it enough. They did the Fairview Cemetery, which we ended up doing in-house so the cemetery could afford what they were doing. Wastewater treatment plants 1 and 2, working through the rehabilitation, the plans, working through the engineers to get that done. The closeout of wastewater treatment plant number 3, if you recall, we had to just pull that back from everybody and just walk it ourselves, and then putting those Simsboro wells online. So that is yeoman's work there, and that one bullet just doesn't seem to do enough. The library, they worked on discounted membership fees for seniors for the first time. They developed a tween program, and as Councilmember Lowe mentioned, there was an overall increase in attendance by active members of 40%. The IT department, they strengthened security measures. We all feel it when we have to have the text and the message and the triple verification to log in. They did a data center refresh. GIS continues to make vast improvements. And to think that the city didn't even have a GIS department, really, truly, when I got here. We were still drawing paper lines. Help desk and GIS assistants received 2,400 requests for assistance that they resolved. Fleet and facilities implemented a new software, Samsara, to track our fleet health. No more burnt engines, no more people not taken care of. And I'll tell you, I pulled up here on Friday, it was cold. There was 3 development services techs who had Monday, who had their hoods open, and I immediately went, where's Doc Cowie? Because I had just gotten the text that we had the PD cruiser and our 5.0 pet who'd been rear-ended by a drunk driver over the weekend, and I thought, I cannot have 3 more in the fleet out of commission. Well, no, they weren't. They're our test pilot, and they were doing their checking of the fleet, which didn't exist before here. It was pieces of paper that were rolling around everywhere. So they repaired or improved City Hall, the Convention Center, Mayfest Park, the BEDC edition, and the Discover Bastrop area. Doug claims he still likes his job. I'm not sure how. HR launched the Tell Me Something Good campaign. That's where we highlight those staff members who've received kudos from the outside world. They processed more than 2,100 applications for open positions, and they joined in the Bridging Bastrop employee event. Park, this is like kudos to Jason in not even his first year here. He transitioned multiple divisions within the department with the focus on community appearance. I tasked him and Lance to get together and figure out why does streets have mowing and park have mowing and neither shall use the same equipment. What the heck is going on? And guess what? They put their heads together, shifted some staff around for efficiency, and he rebid the mowing contracts and reduced costs by over $100,000. That's a big one. Fire department, they recruited additional volunteer firefighters. At one point were down to 0. They responded to over 1,200 calls. They conducted 284 fire safety inspections. They secured $38,000 in grants, and they attended over 88 fire prevention, education, special events, and public service requests. And that's just a few of the highlights. Let's get into what we really did. So, January was a focus of strategic reset and governance. In economic development, we said no to the sports complex after having done that in '24 because there were too many people surrounding us that were doing the same thing, and it was not an efficient or effective use of city resources. After a successful recall petition, the council accepted the mayor's resignation and ordered the May 3rd special election. We also adopted the 25-26 budget calendar. We had major B3 code amendments adopted. We rezoned 10 acres at 969. We advanced the Valverde funding. We approved almost $1 million in asphalt contracts, and we approved the wastewater treatment plant change orders. In February, we worked on legal engagement procedures. You are now policing yourself on how you contact legal and the money that you spend to legal, and those reports are part of your monthly report. We launched a new banking request for proposals, and we expanded monthly financial reporting. You further advanced the PID, you approved the Pine Creek Senior Apartments, you adopted the first reading of the B3 reforms, and you adopted the short-term rental registration ordinance. You approved Department of Justice and Homeland Security grants for PD. You got your first look at park improvements, and we began the use of City Hall parking lot for animal vaccinations. In March was a development code overhaul. We removed the mandatory street grids. We revised the P2 and P3 lots. How many of you remember those public meetings at the convention center? We removed duplexes from P2 and P3. We adopted the parkland dedication ordinance that got us into conformance with Texas Parks. We updated all of the technical manuals. We updated the transportation master plan. We authorized the Texas Water Development Board grant application for wastewater treatment plant number 3, and we continued with the bond for Valverde. We shifted $350,000 in hot reserves to cover operational expenses and began the much-needed convention center repairs. And we appointed 2 judges, a presiding and an associate municipal court judge. That's a picture of Judge McClyman. In April, you had community engagement and historic investment. We had the Joint Council and P&Z workshop with major public land use input sessions on the future land use map. You approved $10.1 million for the Old Iron Bridge, and you approved engineering inspection services with Dial Development. There we are with the bridge ribbon cutting. May was about election growth in parks. We certified the May 3rd election. The new council was sworn in. We did the comprehensive plan updates. We annexed 23 acres, and we created Bastrop County Mud number 5, which is Ironwood, which will be our first in-city mud. We did $38,000 in Fisherman's Park improvements, and we designated 15.8 acres of Farm Street as parkland. There is the Billy Wall Memorial Ceremony that also happened in May. In June, we talked about water, capital finance, and history was made with the swearing in of Mayor Harris. The aquifer storage and recovery came to the forefront, and council had your strategic retreat in Rockport. We spent $2.4 million on wastewater treatment plant 1 and 2 rehab. Those were ARPA funds that would save the city millions of dollars. We did lift station and manhole rehabilitation. We partnered with CARTS to expand the CARTS Now service to the entire city limits. We adopted some budget amendments. You approved the $20 million certificates of obligation, and you approved the BEDC vehicle. In July, more capital planning and community investment. We discussed naming of the Bark Park and its needed improvements through a community meeting that will happen in phase 2. We did the Agnes Street change order, bringing that project closer to completion. You approved the $750,000 Texas Parks and Wildlife Part 3 grant and the $100,000 LCRA education grant, both of which were not awarded, but we will try again at the next open session. And in our partnership, we processed some BISD fee waivers for the construction of all of their schools. In August, you did budget. We did the 26 workshop. You sold 1808 Jasper. We updated our rules of procedure. We had some stormwater reforms. You approved the holiday lighting and some Old Iron Bridge amendments, and we started feasibility for the reuse plant at wastewater treatment plant, what will become number 4. In September, We adopted the budget. You adopted a tax rate that was below the no new revenue rate. You adopted new purchasing and financial policies. The South End District was created. Martin Luther King Lot was dedicated as parkland, and Mayfest and rodeo planning began for the cover and the associated park improvements. In October, you saw a $117,000 convention center roof, our 24 audit and our 25 year end, the expansion of our roadway impact fees that'll pay for those quality of life and traffic. You saw the extension of the Reed Ranch PDD. We did our B3 public meetings and proposed changes, and Boo Bash was a massive success, and Michaela went through those numbers. In November, you approved an almost $1 million Highway 71 sewer pipe bursting. You approved $2.87 million in playground equipment, and we saw the pavement IDIQ that would begin our street repair. We had our development code workshops completed and began the modernization of our planning code. And we had our inaugural community unity meal that was held at the Bastrop Convention Center. And finally, closing out the year, we had the investment committee created, feasibility contracts were issued for the Hotel Convention Center, the hospital, Bastrop West, and the Par 3 golf course. Council passed the master transfer agreement for Hunter's Crossing that would begin to put those assets in the city's possession. The lighted Christmas parade saw approximately 8,000 visitors, and you cut the ribbon for Agnes Street on time and on budget. It was a busy year. Any questions?
Are we ready to do it all over again?
Well, based on the work plan that you saw, I think our workload for 2026 is at least 30 to 40% more. Jason in Parks, Lance in Streets, and Curtis in Water have a tremendous amount of work in front of them, with the rest of us really playing support roles.
Looking forward to it. Councilmember Meyer.
Thank you. I really don't have any questions. I was just very interested to see in February that Mayor Pro Tem Kirkland became a flash mobber with the lights in the group. I didn't know that part of you, but wow, John.
Yeah, he just photobombs all the pictures. All right, do we have any other questions? Mayor Pro Tem Kirkland.
So yeah, no questions, but yeah, that one, Carlos.
One more. Yeah, there he is.
Oh yeah. Well, that was the first meeting where, I suddenly found myself in the hot seat. And so we had to give out those same awards for the parade in January. So I just wanted to, on behalf of, I'll speak for everybody up here just because you're going to have to tell me to stop.
Stop.
But thank you to the city staff, and on behalf of the residents of the city of Bastrop who put us up here to watch over you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a tremendous amount of work, and it's impressive, and it's being done with integrity. It's being done with fiscal responsibility. It's being done with asking a lower tax rate than we've had in the past. It's an incredible thing that you're doing. And you too, right? You're absolutely the part of it. But I'm talking to those of you in the back. Every single day you show up and you put in the work, and you're leading with integrity and with heart. And thank you so much on behalf of the residents of the city of Bastrop.
Hear, hear. I have a question for you. So we had 173 meetings last year. Do you know what we had the year prior? I know it's like way less. I've been here meeting for a while, but like last year was pretty extreme. But we got a lot of things accomplished, and part of the reason why I'm asking though is just with that amount of meetings, I would think one would think that we're out here trying to do the best we can for this city, and we're definitely being as transparent as we can. I mean, there's a lot of times for you to attend to see what's going on. So, to piggyback off of John, again, thank you to all of the staff. Y'all are what make our job a whole lot easier and our decision making a whole lot easier with your preparation and dedication. So, thank you.
That's on average 3 meetings a week for the staff, not to mention council meetings and their other meetings with their liaisons and their chair to the boards and their residents and then their normal work, so.
And
yeah.
thank your families too.
Yes, yes.
For giving y'all that time to come spend with us. So, thank you. All right. Do we have anything? Councilmember Meyer, you still have something?
Just one more thing. Since I'm going to thank Mayor Pro Tem Kirkland for your time as acting mayor, but I also want to thank you, Mayor Harris, for your leadership and the integrity and that you have brought to this office as a united front for this entire city, for everyone. Your goal, and I know your aspirations and your message is united, and that's what you bring, so thank you so much.
Thank you. And I appreciate all of y'all for, falling in with me and believing and trusting in me and helping us get to this point. So thank you. All right. Do we have anything else? All right. So thank you, Madam City Manager. We appreciate that fantastic report. It was it was very good. All right. So we don't have any other work sessions or briefings. I think we've had enough of staff and board reports for tonight, so we'll go through that even though it's nothing there at all. And now we're on to citizen comments. Do we have any additional other than what you've given me? Okay, so we have 2 citizen comments. We have one that was emailed in, and we have someone here to speak as well. I'll go ahead and read this one here real quick, even though I typically don't. Just want to provide some clarity on this. So this is from Kirsten Rollins. Good evening, Mayor and council members. I'm writing that, ask how the city becomes aware of large, high-demand projects like data centers before they reach a public zoning or permitting stage. While I understand the city's authority is limited outside city limits, nearby projects can significantly impact city infrastructure and long-term planning, and those impacts are sometimes obscured by technical infrastructure language, but matter deeply to residents. More directly, when electric or water utilities are evaluating large projects that could affect city systems, does the city receive any advance notice or coordination? If not, how does the city ensure it is not learning about major infrastructure demands only after key decisions have already limited its options? I respectfully request that this question and the city's response be included in the public record. Thank you for your time and service. Kirsten Luco. So just real quick, because it's citizen comments, we do not engage in the back and forth with the citizen comments. It's a legal thing, but what we can do is staff will be made aware of this and they can provide you with some information. So just wanted to provide that with you to let you know we have received your comment, we've read it, and we will get you the information. So thank you. All right, the next person that we have to speak on citizen comments is Alec Hargue. I see the MCH and then GUE. Can you help me out, please?
Yeah, that name has served me well, especially in the military. Drill sergeant couldn't say it, so he never called on me.
Oh, hey, that's a good thing, right?
Yes,
So if you could please introduce yourself to us, sir, and you will have 3 minutes.
My name is Alan McCard. I live at 407 Rainmaker Lane in Bastrop, Texas. And after listening to your workload, I'm sort of embarrassed to get up here to ask I'm up against a wall with the development I'm in is a brand new development. I've got 60 years of being a construction contractor, so I'm very versed in knowing what goes on in planning, building, maintaining any kind of a construction entity. And our development out there, it appears, and I've been in the house, or I've been involved in it in 5 years now. And the main topic tonight is the stormwater surface drainage. And probably some of you are familiar with that big issue that was just west of us here, how devastating rainwater runoff can be. Now, our situation is not that dire as that up there, but it is pretty major. And I think some of you have viewed the damage that has occurred on our property. And it's, okay, so I'm going to call, because what happens, there's a little over 100 homes out there that instead of draining into the city's drainage system, for some reason the developer drained them to the back of the lots onto surface dirt. And it's very clear in the bylaws for our development, in the original drawings that the city did, that all lots need to drain into a drainage system. And then again, the city is very clear on defining what a draining system is. My interpretation of that is that the drainage system has to be able to handle any rain event up to and including a 100-year rain event and not have any damage to that, or very little damage to the system or to the surrounding properties. Well, we're with just small rain events, we've had major damage. And so our association got turned over from the developer about 2 years ago now, going on about 2 years. And our management company and our HO and our directors, you know, they are trying, but I don't know how familiar they are with these kind of issues. And I guess I'm concerned because the engineer that we hired, it's awfully hard to get an engineer to go against other engineers. And so what the engineer that we hired to deal with this issue basically is it's just rebuilding it back to the way it was, which to me doesn't make much sense because it didn't work the first time. I'm not sure how it's going to work the second time. And again, there's really not an issue until we have a big rain event. And I didn't know again, I'm not a government person. You guys have plenty to do, and I don't know if you could communicate with our directors, because I think the only avenue we have towards the developer is through our HO directors. And we only have 2 directors out of 800 homes, which to me is a little strange. But yeah, if there's anything that, and I'm available, the amount of details that I have accumulated in these 5 years is incredible. And I could go on and on with all the details of what needs to be done, what's wrong, but I can't do it in 3 minutes. But I'm available if anyone is interested in going over that with me. And the city construction department and the manager have all been great these last few years helping me try to deal with this situation. They have been very good, and I thank them for that.
Thank you. All right. We appreciate your comments, sir. If we don't have any other citizen comments, we'll move on to our consent agenda. All matters listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will not be a separate discussion of these items. If the discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. So we do have agenda item 8A where we need to conduct a public hearing. So agenda item 8A, conduct a public hearing, consider and act on the second reading of ordinance number 2025-67 for a zoning concept scheme, request to rezone the project site from PEC Employment Center to Planned Development District, PDD, with the base district of P4 for the area described as being 7.398 plus or minus acres out of the Steel Yard subdivision, Lot 3, located at 2002 South Highway 95, Bastrop, Texas, 78602, within the city limits of Bastrop. Doc's not here. So I'm going to open up the public hearing. I see Doc in the back. I didn't know. Doc, do you have anything you need to present?
So, Mayor, Council, from our last meeting, I think we worked with the developer and addressed all the different comments. Again, as you're doing tonight, the main objective is go through the second public hearing.
All right. I'm going to close the public hearing. Council, do we have any discussion? Okay. So, we have agenda items 8B, 8C, 8D. All of them are resolutions, so we can act on one. So, we have a
So motion to approve the consent agenda, items 8A through 8G.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Those agenda items passes unanimous. Agenda item 9A, conduct a public hearing to consider and act on ordinance number 2026-01, first one of the year, to approve and adopt the 2026 schedule of uniform submittal dates and for plats in accordance with the Building Bastrop Block B3 Code Section 2.23.004, annual adoption of schedule of uniform submittal dates, and the Bastrop Building Block B3 Technical Manual Section 1.2.002, uniform submittal dates as shown in Exhibit A, and move to include on the January 27, 2026 consent agenda, City Council for the second reading.
Mayor and Council, thank you again. Basically, you read off, Mayor, what we have is a process through our local government code and through what's called the shot clock, House bill that spells out where there's a 30-day time period where you have to review plats. So what you have before you is a schedule that P&Z approved back on 12/18 of 2025. What this does is that an individual comes in with no matter what type of plat it is, it spells out when they have to submit, a review process, or timing, et cetera. So we allowed for the holiday dates. There was a little typo that we did. I think we gave you, we were fast forwarding to 2027, so you should have before your night 2026. Again, this is for plats, submittal dates to comply with the different local government codes and the 30-day shot clock for plats. And it allows the developers, the architects, engineers, surveyors to know when they have to submit by and helps us with our processes. Any questions?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I am opening up the public hearing. Is there anyone that has anything to say? Do we have any statements or comments from the audience or citizens? Okay. All right. I'm going to close this public hearing. Council members, do we have anything up for discussion pertaining to this agenda item?
Move to approve.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion passes unanimous. All right, we are on to agenda item 10A, executive session. City Council should convene into a closed executive session pursuant to Texas Local Government Code Section 5. .087 to discuss and deliberate regarding a proposed economic development project to locate within the city. It is now 8:10 and we're going into executive session. All right, it is now 8:53 and we're back from executive session. There is no action that will be taken tonight due to what we discussed. So on to agenda item 12.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, thank you, Bastrop. Thank you for sticking with us tonight. Thank you for being here for our first meeting. We'll see you in a couple weeks. We love y'all. Have a great night, great rest of the week. Peace.